man. Guy, but I don't want to interrupt his performance. In the morning.
Yes?
You there. Heed my request. It'll only take a moment of your time. For what I ask plain. If you're a bard, for your own sake, do not sing, for your voice cannot compare to mine.
Yeah. Well, you sound to speak like a highborn.
I was afraid as much. One cannot hide who truly is. Nobles, thanes, jarls, these are the sorts of people I consider my peers.
Well, this seems to suit you. I think you're better singing about wars and fighting them, really.
You're wrong. I wasn't always a handsome bard. I used to be a handsome adventurer, and before that I was just handsome. Unfortunately, my adventuring days came to an end after I nearly lost my life in a scuffle with a group of bandits known as the Silver Hand.
Silver Hand?
After that, I figured it wasn't worth it. Sure, I was a damn good fighter. The best. But I was damn near good at everything else, too. I owed it to this world to keep me alive. I can't even begin to imagine what sort of Daedric nightmare Skyrim would be if I didn't exist.
Yeah, I've actually run into the Silver Hand. I've had a few skirmishes with them myself. What happened with them?
It happened in an inn. Not unlike this one, where I met this lovely tavern wench. A bit chubby, but on the voluptuous side of fat. I could have charmed and cajoled her, but I've always been the type to show rather than tell. So I showed her just exactly how her previous lovers had failed her.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, my fevered thrusts were such that she accused me of turning into a beast during the height of my passion. Literally.
Right. I think I see what you mean by beast.
To be specific, she said I was a werewolf. When rumors spread around of my transformation, I became a target of the Silver Hand. That wench made the coffin maker a lot of money that day, with all the men I was now forced to kill.
Right.
I'm beginning to think the two were kin.
Well, as a companion, your secret's safe with me.
I see. Then you understand my predicament. Maybe you have a little fur in your ears as well. The tavern wench, you see, did not lie. I do indeed have a problem with controlling my transformations, but only when I lie with a woman. It never used to be a problem, but now that I hunt for flesh instead of blood, her sign seems to have altered the nature of my curse.
Her sign.
I never heard any of them, but it does make for an awkward morning. I usually end up having to flee town to escape the gibbet.
What makes this town different?
I'm only still here because the ladies have proven difficult to woo. Of course, I'll have to leave eventually when the Breton shows up.
The Breton?
He's an old acquaintance of mine. Joined up with wolf hunters just so he could have a chance to kill me. As if I could be killed. In fact, the little carrot licker's been trying to kill me for more than a dozen years now. Back when my balls had more fur than his chin.
How did this quarrel begin between you two?
You'll have to ask him. I haven't the faintest idea. Probably fell in love with me or something, seeing as I have that effect on women and men. All I know is, wherever I go, he manages to show up.
So what kind of duels have you had?
We fought with swords, bare knuckles, knives, bows, and scrolls. We fought in the snow, in caves, in taverns, and on horseback. We fought alone, with companions, on opposite sides of the war. The one place he doesn't like to fight is out in the sun. I think it's because he's a bloody vampire.
Could be.
Now that I'm a bard, he'll likely become a writer so he can document his lies in books while I immortalize the truth in song.
What's Brennan's name by any chance? Is it Edwin?
How should I know? He told it to me once. Shouted it at me, really. But I couldn't be bothered to remember such an insignificant detail. You'll likely find him wherever it is filthy skeevers like to congregate. And my name will most assuredly be the first word out of his mouth.
I think I've actually met him.
Oh, was he short, ugly, and green with envy?
He'd become a bard at the college.
Of course he is. I knew the day I became a bard that the little imp would follow. Figures he would opt for the college route. Just ignore the fool and pretend we never had this conversation.
So can you tell me about these duels you've had?
I remember bits and pieces. A few stories here and there, but I can hardly keep a ledger. If you want the details, you will have to ask him. I can't be expected to recall events that are so unworthy of my memories.
Well, you must at least remember during the war.
You're right, but only because they happened at the end of the wars we were fighting. We were there when the Jarl of Markarth surrendered to Madanach, and when Madanach surrendered to Ulfric.
Right.
We were supposed to be witnesses to the peace accord, but ended up fighting in the Hall of the Dead while the others were in the keep.
Hall of the Dead should really show Soren showed more respect.
It was he who initiated both duels. I would never do something so undignified given the circumstances. As the clash of swords tend to echo in those spacious dwarven ruins, we were limited to bows. Of course, I was working with a handicap. After nearly escaping the first duel, the second time the Breton swine came prepared with poison-tipped arrows and 3 red potions tied to his belt. So in effect, to succeed, I would have to kill him 4 times. I only managed 3 before I ran out of arrows.
Well, a knife fight seems like it was hard to forget.
Yes, perhaps I do recall some of it. It was in Riften, I think, at the turn of the century, on the eve of the New Life Festival. We were all in a drunken revelry when these 2 elves got into an argument because one of them refused to dance with the other's sister. Then the one elf says to the other, "If your sister looks anything like you, I'd rather bet an orc." Then an orc woman rises from her chair and yells some sort of curse before smashing a flagon across his
Yeah, I
nose.
can see where this is going. So the tavern got into it.
Indeed. Pretty soon the whole place is an all-out brawl. That's when I felt a tap on the shoulder. My instincts were to turn and duck. Too bad the Breton was aiming for my neck. The little imp ended up shaving my scalp. "How much did you pay those elves to start this?" I asked him. He said he didn't have to pay them anything. When he told them the plan was to kill me, he said they offered to do it for free. An obvious lie, of course.
What about the mounted duel?
If you're that interested in my exploits, I'm sure I can drudge up a few details. Let's see. I believe it was a stormy night in Whiterun, and travelers from across the hold crammed themselves into the bannered mare. I remember being confronted by a child dressed from head to toe in steel. Only upon removing his helmet he revealed himself as the Breton. In the interest of sport, I offered to allow him to duel me on horseback, while I fought blindfolded. It was the only way to even the odds.
Well, naturally, but I take it you didn't actually fight blindfolded.
We settled on mounted combat, which I accepted knowing that he had already bribed Skulvar into giving him the superior horse. The rain continued to pour that night, our horses trundling through the mud. It was his opinion that the vast tundra would make for a fine arena. I could barely see through the blades of water that whipped into our eyes, as he positioned his steed 100 horse lengths from mine. We were to charge at the sound of his companion's horn, and when it blared, I flew.
So what happened?
I flew through the storm like a mighty chariot, hassles of water flinging about in my wake. I felt the elements swirling around me, focusing their energy into my axe. I knew then the Breton would die that day. Only the little imp was nowhere to be found. I assumed he had fled. That would have been the sensible thing.
You found out what happened?
When I found him lying in the mud, his horse having slipped and broken both their legs, he blamed me, of course, for sabotaging his horse. What does he think? I used some sort of mind control on the beast? I wouldn't put it past me, but it's not a power I possess. I am inclined to believe it was his companion that brought him a lame horse, in order to salvage the little imp's life.
Okay, thanks enough about that, I think.
Indeed. Again, you're better off asking him. If we both stay at this inn long enough, you might be unlucky enough to meet him.
So is your voice so special?
Some think it was a voice born to tell stories, or one meant to lead men into battle. Others contend my very throat was forged by dragonfire. I've heard some describe it like a bottle of hard whiskey and boiled potatoes, like smoke misting off hot coals. Most tell me it's a voice that carries with it a sense of authority, a voice fit for a king. I do nothing to dissuade such accusations. Now imagine this regal, manly voice of mine singing all the bard's favorites. My patrons from here to Riften will come to this inn to hear it. Yet despite me doubling her business, Vida insists on charging me for a room. Such greed is unbecoming.
Miss Vida, may I ask you a question?
Of course, Julie.
So what sort of pedigree do you come from?
The humblest of births, but someday the most glorious of ends. That is, if someone like myself is even capable of dying. I'm not entirely sure. Yet I am indeed a far cry from the life my mother sought to raise me in, when she was but a handmaiden working in Dragon's Reach. In my childhood I grew up around nobles, thanes, and highborn lords, sworn to the servant's oath, to perform one's duty and to go unnoticed.
I wasn't aware that servants had such an oath.
Indeed. Only I can think of nothing more dreadful than going unnoticed. You see, I've always longed for attention, yearned for it, craved it. And there is no purer attention, no higher appraisal of one's worth than the giving of applause.
Right.
That's what I play for. The last pluck of a lute string and the faint echo of silence before the crowd roars in appreciation. I play for both the silence and the roar, the anticipation and the climax, the moments that seem to go on forever, and yet are never long enough. All right, then.
Right.
I've been looking for you.
Oh.
Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. A letter. Not sure who from. He wouldn't say, just that he was a friend of yours. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
A letter. Weird. Anyway, you got the Bastard Dragon Bridge when you demonstrate the power of your theme. That is one is thank you, Dragonborn. I for one desire to see you grow and develop your talents. Can you true hero these days? If you turn your attention to full gun thrower, I understand it holds a mysterious source of power that can only work from Dragons. Isn't that right? Full gun thrower. Well, that is. Okay. Well, right now I'm going to speak to Viarmo. It's close by Dragon's Bridge anyway. Yeah, Solitude. So welcome back to Danifae's story. Actually, I had quite a fun time listening to that bird. She was having breakfast. Now she's going to go and speak to Viarmo. I don't know what he's wanting this time. That's not a bad name for a bard, Skjald. Usually called Skalds in Skyrim, so it's pretty close. A couple of things she wants to do today. Speaking of Viarmo's one. She's about to turn in as well, down at Markarth, but I think she might just take the car back to there, and then from there go back up to the place where she left her friends. Elizabeth is as well. We're still doing a walk of shame, possible.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can't catch me. Father says I shouldn't play with you anymore.
Please, take pity on an old madman.
Here we go.
Good day.
Good day. How are things?
Life's not so bad. I'm independently wealthy, though I don't wear it. So it's nice to just be able to wander about and take in the sights of solitude.
Enjoy the sights. Okay. Ah, there's the man himself. That was handy.
Ah, good to see you.
Yeah, I was told you wanted to speak to me.
A well-placed word or a well-placed dagger, both can achieve equal purposes.
So, you got something for me?
I do.
Sam, at this point, I hardly see how your advice would improve it. It's flawless.
Oh, perform for Lil Oliver.
Now back to your practice.
It was a pleasure.
I think Ildi's better than Dean Pantea actually knows. She just gets intimidated when she's in class and can't...
I think she's actually, in Riften, yeah. That's fine.
I think
Right.
someone has a crush on Ildi.
Right, Folgother's not far from Morthal, so that's actually, pretty convenient for us as well.
I found the bone. I brought it
Couple of
to you,
things
but
that,
still I am refused.
She wants to do near Morthal, so that's actually seems rather convenient. Right, there's oh, hang on, there she is. She did fall in my basket trying to cover up her shame. Yeah.
Feel free
It's a fine day with you around.
Right, I think you've served your punishment, Ellis, if you're free to go.
Okay, I need to get back to the palace soon anyway. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Wait, you enjoyed it?
I was a little scared at first, but I like being outside naked. This is just what I needed.
Why do you say that?
This place is boring. I was meant for so much more than all of this. I wish I could head to a life of adventure and romance. Anywhere but here.
It's a dangerous world out there, Elisif.
It's better than anything in the Blue Palace. I can't imagine how exciting it must be to journey from place to place. I bet you've had plenty of adventures. You're so lucky.
Well, most people would consider being in Jarl Yoli pretty lucky as well.
It's been so hard since my Torek passed. No one takes me seriously. And now they all think I'm some kind of monster.
Well, you're just not a monster, just not pretty new to budgeting, and I don't understand all the maths myself, so... But I know ruling Skyrim can't be easy.
Thank you. That's generous of you to say. It's wonderful to have someone around who understands.
So what will you do now?
Now I just want to put the whole nasty business behind me.
Still I am refused.
Maybe like a road trip or something?
I suppose you're used to traveling. If you're looking for company, I suppose I could do worse.
Why would you want to go travelling with me?
I just want to learn. I don't want to think about what's expected of me. I'll make it worth your while.
Right, I'm listening.
Thank you. I was afraid I'd have to figure out some way to do this on my own.
But I'm wondering, it's dangerous out there. What does a fancy like you know about combat?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Like what?
In a fight, if you see a big wind-up, get out of the way or bash him with your shield. Even if your opponent doesn't have a shield, those big, powerful blows can stagger him. Leaves him open for a quick follow-up blow. Only a fool lets himself get surrounded. Back up and make them come at you one at a time. Make sure to pull your bow all the way back to get the most power out of your shot.
Well, not quite what I was expecting, and where'd you learn all that?
There's a lot of pressure for me to excel in my studies. They say there's nothing a Nord woman can't do if she puts her mind to it.
So you got any particular skills?
Since I was born, my parents taught me to hunt.
Oh.
I'm not as good as they are, but I do my best.
But those tendrils bind our reality together.
Well, those could be useful. Let me think about it for a moment.
Thank you. It would mean a lot to me. I can't wait.
Well, actually, I don't really need an archer because I'm pretty accomplished at myself, but maybe another time.
Oh. Well, if you change your mind, let me know.
You can put your clothes back on, by the way.
Thank you. I'd better get going.
Feel free to make requests.
Right.
Oh, Master, it's your time to do it.
Let's look at the basket and have our clothes are in it.
What about those who depend on you?
Anyway. So we get out of here and head back to take the cart to Markar, turn in that bounty, and then go up and get my friends back. not sure if it's wise to take someone like the Jarl of Solitude on adventures with me. And what if something happened if you got killed or whatever? Can I be responsible for that? Fair?
Need a ride?
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
I'm going to, Markarth.
Climb and back and we'll be off. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Run from Rorikstead.
And yet it's raining. Okay. Should I keep and talk to Quintus?
Holmes. I said Holmes, you backfire. Give a crippled worker a helping.
Going on? Why not?
Good to see you. Finally, someone useful is around.
The band leader at Camp Stoffel is dead. I'm here for the bounty.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward.
So, get any leads on Forsworn or anything like that?
The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, take a look at this decree for details.
Camp Red Fox, right. Okay.
Until later, then.
Yeah.
You've been a good friend to me. That means something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How goes things, my Jarl?
My brother tells me you've done us a service. Thank you.
I'd like to perform for you.
Of course.
Right, thank you.
It's good to see you again.
What did you think of that?
You've done well.
Oh, thank you.
Keep safe.
You too. speak to that orc about something. Remember where the forges. Down there. Okay. She is.
Need a new blade?
Yeah, I got that book that you wanted.
Books. Don't know why the Imperials like these so much. This should help the boy, though, Malakath willing. Here, let me show you how an orc learns to smith.
Nice. I might have some things to sell to you, actually.
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Right, what we got here? Sell that. Right. I think I'll sell it because we've got an amulet. For later. Yeah, right.
Malakath preserve you.
Gorza, thank you. There we go. Now, should we get back out of here? Go to the I should I have a balcony here and there's no one exit. It's like a guard post or something. Find my weed markers. It's something I don't tend to like very much. All the stone makes Danifae feel all closed in.
Excuse me, but do you know anything about this house? Seen anyone enter or leave?
What are you asking?
I'm with the Vigil of Stendar. We believe this house might have been used for Daedra worship, evil rites and so forth.
Alright. Need any help?
I was actually just about to head on inside. Be good to have someone watch my back. Follow me and keep your eyes open. Daedra are powerful creatures and tricksters. Never know what you'll find.
Yeah, right, okay.
Wait, did you hear that? I think it came this way.
Right, now I know what I'm gonna paste in here, so
That's it. Something's inside the house. Come on, we're getting to the bottom of this. Come out! We know you're here. There's another door. See if you can get it open.
right, okay.
Stendar's mercy. This isn't an ordinary Daedra. We have to get help.
What?
Weak. He's weak. You're strong. Crush him.
Who's hiding in there? Oh. Well. Mysterious powers that weren't right enough. Well. Get some help then, was he?
You first. Come on. Let's go.
No. Kill him.
Door's locked.
Crush his bones. Tear at his flesh.
Get out of my hand.
What is this?
You will kill. You will kill, or you will die.
I don't want to die. I can't die here. Daedra has us. It's you or me. Someone there?
What?
Thought I heard something.
Don't do it. Do it.
Yes, your reward is waiting for you, mortal. Further down.
Reward? What do you mean reward? There's some sort of trick. I hate rats. Now the door's open.
Yes, further into the bowels.
Ah, right. Cavern.
So close, your prize is waiting.
Prize? What trickery is this? Mace or something.
Fool! Did you think Moleg Bal, the Lord of Domination, would so easily reward you? What do you see from that little cage? Speak.
I see a rusted mace.
Rusted. Dry. There was a time when this mace dripped with the blood of the feeble and the worthless. But a Daedric lord has his enemies, and my rival Boethia had her priest desecrate it, left it here to decay. Until you came.
Boethia. You want revenge on Boethia? So do I, actually.
Revenge? No. I want submission. I want the priest who did this to bend his knee and give me his soul. He comes by to perform Boethia's insulting rites at my altar, but he's been missing, captured and bound, left to rot. Save him. Let him perform his rite one more time. And when he does, we will be waiting for him.
Aha. Okay. So this could possibly be a chance to get some revenge on those beefy cultists that keep attacking me all the time. Okay. Wonder where he is. Pure tyrannus. What more I can do for him? You wonder why the Danifae is wearing a silver pendant. Well, it's fine because she's wearing it over her armour, so it doesn't actually burn her. I was hoping to find some sort of pendant like that. It's not made of silver. At some point. So where's the deal? Maryland. Oh, it's a dragon ball, that's fine. Nice.
Need something?
Pop into Red Lantern Inn and sell some gear. There's some wheat. Sell stuff to these guys, of course.
Khajiit welcomes you. And also your coin.
What you got for sale?
Take a look.
Right. Maybe wonder what to say on. Oh, that's not good, is it? Right. What do you think? And after all, can't sell the stuff to this guy. That'll do. Right. Okay.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
I sold a bit of stuff in there, so that was pretty fortuitous. So we're going to head back to Ragnvald and get with our friends again. On the hunt. Let's head over this way. Lovely weather in the reach. All my friends. See, fancy rescuing someone from a place called Beerland. It's not far from here. Weather's on quite rainy outside in case you hadn't noticed. Let's go, sounds like fun.